I don't think there's any news, but I might have just jinxed myself, but I think I can finally sit down and do this video. What is up, Finn fans? What is up, subscribers? What is up, everyone that supports this channel? I've been trying to do this video for 2 weeks. 2 weeks of me having these packages that are here, of grabbing all your comments, sitting here trying to do this video. But there was breaking news, the offensive coordinator getting fired, then Watson is associated with us, and then people, but I'm doing it. I'm sitting down and I'm doing this video. But real quick, I gotta shout my guys out at patchvibes.com. I always gotta shout them out. And a lot of people are probably like, hey, what are you getting out of this? Nothing. They got some great merchandise. Look at this patch that I put right here. Some of you guys wish it was like this, but it won't stay there, so I have to put it like that. They also have the Don Shula patch. They have these great pins. They have the awesome t-shirt I gave away. They also came out with the Dan Marino jersey. They came out with a captain patch, and I literally bought myself a captain patch because I'm going to put it on my DouglieDoWrong jersey, which is over there. Check them out. Use the promo code FREEPATCH. You get a free 25th anniversary patch with your order. Be sure to check them out. But before we jump into this video, before I start answering questions, and I think I'm going to answer your questions before I do open these packages. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packages I need to open. There's a big boy that I'm going to wait till last. I just want to say to you guys again, I greatly appreciate you guys subscribing, watching the videos, giving me the time to actually listen to me. I don't consider myself an expert when it comes to the Miami Dolphins. I've been a Dolphin fan for 25 years. I've played football. I have a degree in media. That's what the real over here is. If you can see it. I also have the Dolphins here because of my father. I love the team. I love the sport. I understand the sport. I played the sport, so I made the channel. Start talking about the Dolphins because it's a mixture of my love of the Dolphins and my love of media. A lot of you guys also asked me, hey, why do you like the Dolphins if you live in New Jersey? Well, I'm going to answer that question again. I answer it a lot. If you go back to my 1000th subscriber video, I answered it there. My father is a diehard Dolphins fan. He was born in '63, so he saw them go undefeated, win it. He lived in New Jersey his whole entire life as well. So was his father, who's a Dolphins fan, lived in New Jersey his entire life. Me growing up, watching my father watch the Dolphins, watch his passion for the Dolphins, started to build that fire in me. You know, if you have your dad around or if you have a son, you see how they just watch their father and mimic and do whatever they want. Plus, I got to watch Dan Marino play. I got to watch Jason Taylor play, Sam Madison, Patrick Surtain, Zach Thomas, who's hopefully soon we hear that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And I became a Dolphins fan. So mostly because of my father, but also getting to watch Dan Marino sling that rock made me a Dolphins fan. There's the answer to that question. Also, I just want to tell you guys that I greatly appreciate, like I always say, you guys subscribing to the channel, you guys being a part of this channel. I've had you guys reach out to me, tell me how much doing this channel takes you out of, your bad days, makes your bad days better. And that hits me in the heart. That makes me so happy that I can affect you in that way. I had a guy hit me up, his son, Giuliano, and his little brother, Matteo, are huge fans of the channel. He asked me to shout him out. So, hey guys, what's up? Then also during the live stream, Daniel came on. He sounded young. I don't want to, assume his age, but he said he was an Arizona Cardinals fan until he started watching this channel and became a Dolphins fan. So it's like the fact that I have that big of an impact on you guys, I don't want to take advantage of that. I do my research. I make sure that I give you the facts. I make sure I don't give you news that is BS. Like when Changeli got fired, I waited till I released that because I don't want to, give you guys BS stuff because some of you guys really depend on the news, especially the younger guys depend on me for the news. It's a big burden, but I love it. And I do this stuff because of you guys. Now, there's a divide in the team right now. Some people don't like Tua. I was going to say hate, but I don't feel like people hate Tua. Some people just don't like him, think he had a horrible year, think it's time to move on because they didn't see the fire in him. I am doing a video. I'm breaking down all the good, the bad, and the ugly of his passes and all of his snaps in the 2020 season. I have the all 22, so I'm not doing highlights because when you do highlights, they don't show the full field. So I'm going to do that video. It's going to be a long video. It might be like a 40-minute video. It's going to take me a while to edit it together and do all that stuff. So expect it probably sometime next week when I'm breaking it down. But there are people who love Tua too much. There's people that don't like Tua too much. And there's people in the middle. There's people, and I consider myself in the middle, even though some people comment below and say that I'm not. Give the kid a chance is all I'm asking. But regardless, if you want to keep Tua, if you don't want to keep Tua, if you want to trade for Watson, if you don't want to trade for Watson, we need to stop attacking each other. If you notice, I never call anyone names, whether on Twitter, whether in the comment section. I never call anyone haters. I never call anyone trolls until they push me to that point. Then I'm like, all right, you calling me so many names now. Now it's at that point. We're all, regardless if you want to or you don't want to, you want Watson, you don't want Watson. We all just want to win. We want the organization to be better. We want to be a Super Bowl winning team. So we need to understand that. We need to take a deep breath. We need to take our step back, look at things objectively, and have a civil conversation. That's all I'm going to say. Love you guys. Let's jump into these Q&As. I'm going to start with Shannon. Shannon says, end of your Q&A, what do you think it will take to get us over the hump to 12-4 or 13-3 range next year? It's a fantastic question. Now, I'll go more in depth. Some of these questions, I'll give you vague answers because I have videos dedicated to a bunch of these answers, like free agent signings, what the Dolphins need to do, surprises, letdowns, all that stuff. But the trenches are incredibly important. If you look at the 4 teams that are now in the conference championship, they all have great O-lines and D-lines. They get a ton of pressure on the quarterback without having to blitz. The Miami Dolphins are one of the league-leading blitzing teams. That's because the front 4 can't get the job done alone. They can get the job done on the front 4, and they give their quarterback time to pass. Look at Josh Allen. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Aaron Rodgers. They have years to throw the ball. So to get that hump, we need to have better trench play because then we get a running game. We give the corners enough time. We do all that stuff. So honestly, I think to get us over that hump, trench play, and then second is quarterback play. Can't have thrown turnovers and costing us the game. Then we have from John Thomas. He says, Doug, do you think if we surround Tua with talent, do you think our offense will be an high power offense this season? And again, it goes back to, Shannon's question. We could put Randy Moss, Jerry Rice around Tua. We can have Ricky in the backfield. But if the offensive line struggles like it did this year, it's ranked one of the lowest offensive lines in the NFL. It don't matter because the wide receivers won't have time to get open. The quarterback, the running game will be non-existent. So then we become a one-dimensional offense and just constant pressure on the quarterback. So yes, I agree. We need to. You saw with Josh Allen, right? And again, I'll talk more about this when I break down to his film. But you saw with Josh Allen, you saw with a lot of these young quarterbacks, they found the quarterback. They liked some of the things they saw from the quarterback. Again, some of you guys said there's nothing you liked from Tua. I disagree, but we'll talk about that. And then you build off of it. Let's put in Stephon Diggs. Let's put in Cole Beasley. Let's build an offensive line. Let's get him Moss as a running back. He's a solid. Then all of a sudden, you throw a ball to Stephon Diggs, and if it's in a 10-yard radius to Stephon Diggs, he's going to catch it. Not saying that Josh Allen's accuracy didn't get better. It definitely got better, but it does help when you have Stephon Diggs. So, yeah, put the players around him, but also give the kid an offensive line. This one comes from Irwin. He says, hating all the get rid of Tua talk, what does Tua need to do to improve for he and our team to succeed? You see a trend coming? Again, I'm going to talk about this more in the Tua video and in a lot of videos. But to answer Irwin's question, he needs to not be afraid to test, to trust his receivers. That's the thing, right? That's the biggest thing that I noticed with Tua this year. He wasn't running with the ones a lot, right? In training camp for 2 weeks, even when he was on the bench as a backup for the first 6 games, he wasn't running with the ones. So he didn't really have a camaraderie and a partnership with these wide receivers and tight ends. So he necessarily didn't trust, hey, if I just chuck this ball up to Williams or Parker or Gesicki, they're going to catch it. He's thinking, I don't want to throw an interception right now because the defense keeps putting me in great position. The defense keeps putting this team in great position. So what Tua needs to do to get over that hump is he needs to trust his guys. He needs to trust his arm, and he needs to get closer to the speed of the game. Again, I'm going to talk more about this in the breakdown of Tua's film, but that's something that definitely needs to happen with him. It hurt him in the aspect of not having a legit offseason. It didn't hurt Herbert, but it hurt Tua. So that's what he needs to do, in my opinion. One of the things he needs to do. This one comes from Eddie, and Eddie says, Doug, my question of the day would be, now with some games in the book following the draft camp and preseason games, will Tua be able to correct his rookie mistakes given that we should at least better the O-line, wide receivers, and have a good running back. I feel like a lot of these questions are going to be about Tua. You guys could have asked me questions like, how's your day or something. Yeah, this is the thing. And a lot of people call me a Tua stan and say a Tua apologist. But I've said this time and time again. If Tua doesn't consistently show progression, if Tua doesn't consistently show that he's getting better, then at some point you can't keep hoping. We did it with Ryan Tannehill for 7 years. You can't keep hoping. Oh, let's hope and pray he gets better. Add more of this, because at some point the quarterback either has it or he doesn't have it, right? Aaron Rodgers, and even some of his players say his first year he came in and played about 3 games for Brett Favre. He struggled, but then he started to get it, and when he got it, he had it, and he never lost it. Same thing with Josh Allen. Once he got it, he got it. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill came out and said he hated him his rookie year. He thought he sucked. But once he got it, once he understood the speed of the game and all that stuff, it clicks, and then they get it. Let's see if it clicks for him. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying it won't. Let's see if it clicks for him. Give the kid a chance. That's all I keep saying about Tua. Just give the kid a chance. This one comes from Hunter, and it's not about Tua. Thank you, Hunter, for that. How do you feel about the development of Jerome Baker? Jerome Baker... I like Jerome Baker. You guys know I'm a big Jerome Baker fan, but I don't know. He's not very good at the run game. He's not. And I keep talking about Parsons drafting him potentially at 3. I keep talking about adding linebacker help because, yeah, Hill and Roberts, they did good. And then sometimes you have Kyle Van Noy back there. But the run defense struggled big time. Jerome Baker's very good at rushing the quarterback, and he's a little bit better at pass coverage, but that's where Eric Rowe comes in to play the tight ends. But I don't know. I would like same thing with the tight end that I said about Gesicki, that I'd like an all-around tight end. Not saying Gesicki's not good. Gesicki's fantastic and one of our top weapons. But it's the same thing I feel about running linebackers. Raekwon McMillan could only stop the run, couldn't drop back into coverage and help us there. Jerome Baker seems to be the flip, and I think that's why they played so well at Ohio State, is because one did one well and the other did the other, so it was like a yin and yang. I don't know if he'll be on the team next year, and that sucks because I like Jerome Baker. Where's his mama? But I don't know. I need to do, and again, I have a video planned for that, but I don't know how I feel about that. Lucas asks, hey Doug, do you think Brandon Jones will get more involved in next year's packages? Our calendar will feature great tight ends like Mark Andrews and Waller. Again, this dude is a monster, and Rowe kind of struggled against the best. Lucas ain't wrong. Eric Rowe, when he played, when he covers tight ends, he and that's the thing with Waller, right? Waller is just a beast. He's faster than Gronkowski. He's got better hops than Gronkowski. Waller's going to be a problem. And the Raiders are going to have that problem for a while. It's like Casper. They got a great tight end there. If you look at the Raiders game, there wasn't a point where Eric Rowe wasn't there. The 2 big catches, Eric Rowe was there. Eric Rowe had his man locked. It's just that Waller is just ridiculous. So your question about Brandon Jones, yes, because he's getting incorporated. He's had sacks. He's had a ton of pressure. He's doing well as he's learning on the fly. So yes, he's what Flores wanted to do with that the man who won't be named. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's what he wanted to do with him. So he didn't want to do it. We traded him. Now we got Brandon Jones, and Brandon Jones is taking on that role, and he's doing fantastic there. So yes, I expect him to do more. But also with Eric Rowe, you got to give him, he's there. He's there. It would also help if he didn't have to cover these tight ends for so long. Because why the flip are we giving a quarterback enough time that the tight end can run 25 yards down the field? And then we need more pressure, defensive line. But yes, I agree. Armed Bandit Riz. I like that we picked up Lynn Bowden Jr. and Malcolm Perry this year. I'm hoping that one of them become a good slot receiver like Devon Best or Wes Welker. I think Lynn Bowden Jr., once he gets assessed with the team and gets assessed with our playbook, because you got to realize he wasn't with us really in training camp. He kind of got thrown in towards the end. But if you notice, the more he understood the style of offense, which it's now going to be a brand new offense, and he understands more how the team plays, he's going to click even more. Malcolm Perry is the same. These 2 guys need to beat out Parker and Williams and whoever, if Albert Wilson's still there, they got to beat them out. So they have to do better than them. But yeah, I agree. I love the pickup of Lynn Bowden Jr. And he shows that once he gets it and it clicks, he's extremely, extremely dangerous. Jeremy Pinder says, Doug, do you think the Dolphins will cut some of these players to bring in better players? Do you think the Dolphins cut Byron Jones' money and bring in another cornerback or draft one to take his role because he was getting burned? I will answer this question more in depth in the video where I talk about who's getting cut and who's getting re-signed. Again, so many videos planned for you guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. But to address Byron Jones getting burnt, if you go back and watch, he didn't get burnt as often as people think. Yes, he got burnt. He got burnt a few times. But it also, it's this yin and yang situation with the trenches, right? If the defensive line is going to give a quarterback, I'm going to be conservative and say 3 seconds. That's 3 seconds enough for the wide receiver to get off of a jam, to get around the corner, and to take off and start to build up that speed that they have to get open. You need to get consistent pressure on the quarterbacks. That helps out the secondary. Because if you can make the quarterback have to throw the ball under 3 seconds, you can jam that wide receiver. And by the time the quarterback gets the snap, 1, 2, he's like, my receivers are still at the line of scrimmage. Crap. It's a yin and yang, because if our corners can lock down the receivers at the line of scrimmage, or if our corners can lock down these receivers for 3 seconds, which any corner who's good should, that gives the defensive line time to get after the quarterback and vice versa. So yes, he got burned a few times. I have to go back and watch the film, but I don't think it's as often as people make it out to be. But defensive line would definitely help that situation. This one comes from Chief Bubba. Doug, do you believe this season will go back to being normal with 4 preseason games and OTAs and training camp, and these players can get it together? I do think that we're going to get training camp, OTAs, mini camps, all that stuff. It's going to be like it was, very like virtual for probably the OTAs and stuff, just to understand the playbook. But then training camp, I think we'll get a full training camp, mini camp, all that stuff. I don't think we're getting 4 preseason games. I think without the preseason games kind of helped. I think we'll get 2. I don't think we're going to get 4 preseason games, but I do think we're going to get OTAs and training camps and mini camps, especially because there is a vaccine out there. But I'm not going too far into that because that's a subject that I don't talk about on this channel. Simon Watson says, so now the season's over for us. Let's say we get Devontae Smith and another weapon in free agency. What are your expectations for Tua in the passing game? Also, if you have time for this question, how would you expect our defense to play? Again, I'll go into more detail, but if you get 2 weapons, that's all fine and dandy. But if you don't get him a better offensive line, or you don't get him time, it works with any quarterback, right? Look at Desean Watson, prime example, because he's a candidate that everyone wants the Dolphins to trade for, even though the Dolphins don't say they're interested. But again, why would they show their cards? He threw for 4,000. He led the league in passing. He had a great touchdown to interception ratio. He did fantastic. His team won 4 games. You can have the league's best quarterback on your team and still only win 4 games. What does that tell you? It's not all on the quarterback. It's not. And people say, well, Doug, we have the number 1 scoring defense. Not anymore. Not after the Bills completely pooped on our heads. I think we have a top 5 defense. But the defensive line needs to be better. We can't have Agba have 9 sacks and then disappear for the last 3 games. Where's everyone else? We need more pressure. We can't just get pressure off of blitzing, because that takes somebody out of being in coverage. We need the front 4 to get pressure, and we need the offensive line to block, because it don't matter. And then goes into expectation of the defense to play. If we don't get a better defensive line play, it's going to be the same struggle as when we played Denver ran all over us. Denver ran all over the Dolphins. Everyone wanted to blame Tua for the Denver loss. Yes, Tua didn't play great. I'm not saying he did. But the Dolphins defense could not stop the Denver Broncos rush. So it's a yin and yang. It's a team sport. That's all I'm going to say on that. Ricardo asked, what do you think is more important to the run game for the Dolphins, the running back or the offensive line? Very good question. It's a yin and yang situation. You can open the lanes, but if the running back doesn't know which lane to hit, he hits the wrong lane. That's on the running back. I will say this. It's more important for it to have a better offensive line. I will say that. It's more important. I say it's a yin and yang with the offensive line and running back, but it is more important because if you give me a lane, I can rush for 100 yards, right? And I haven't played football in 10 years. I haven't played football since high school. Yeah. So if you give me a lane, right? But there's also the aspect of being able to decipher which lane to hit, being able to, break tackles, being able to do the pass block. There's a lot of things that go into it. But when it comes to the running game, it's like 70-30, 70% on the offensive line, 30% on the running back. Hope I explained that better for you. Anthony says, you once said you saw the team doing what the Cowboys dynasty did in the 90s under Jimmy Johnson, going from 1-15 to 7-9 and then 11-5 in the second year of a rebuild. They eventually won the Super Bowl in the third year of the rebuild and then 2 more in the 90s. Do you see the Dolphins doing the same thing? I did say that. When the Dolphins tore it down and had a 5-11 season, even before we started winning 5 games, I said, look at what the Cowboys did. And everyone got on me. You think that the Dolphins are going to be like the Cowboys? You know how long it's going to take for the Dolphins to start winning? You know how long? I will go back to those comments of people getting on me when I said they're not tanking. They're building. They can turn this around in 1 year. No, they can't. You know how it's going to take 3 years to do anything. That's what I heard. 2-3 years tops to be anything. They went 10-6 with the second youngest team in the NFL because of draft picks. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl next year like the Cowboys did, but I do expect them to be better. Troy Aikman played Garbo his rookie year. Absolute Garbo his rookie year. And then he started getting it. They built the team around him and he was real good. Him, Irvin, Smith. This comes from Keith and he says, is the clear-cut number 1 defensive back on this team? Do you think we move on from Byron Jones since we are paying him so much money to continuously keep giving up big plays? Kind of addressed that already. Patrick Surtain is looking like the number 1 corner in the draft. Would love to see him in the Dolphins uniform. If you guys don't know, Patrick Surtain's son is declared for the draft and seems to be the number 1 corner coming out. Again, I'll try to do a film breakdown of Byron Jones and see how many times he actually got burnt and gave up big plays, or I'll look up. I have PFF Elite now, so I can look up stats and I'll address that more. If you don't get a good defensive line, we can have the best corner. We can have Darrelle Revis over there, and he's going to have problems if the wide receiver gets 5 seconds to run his route and then run around like a crazy person because we're allowing the quarterback time to let the play develop and get out of the pocket. So it don't really matter. And again, when it comes to free agency stuff and who's going to get cut and who's going to sign, I'll talk about Byron Jones because if we cut him, we're going to eat a lot of dead cap. This one comes from Sideways Racing, and he says, do you think we trade Grant? If so, for what? I don't even know if we'd be able to trade Grant. 5th? If they trade him, I don't know if Grant's going to be on the team next year. If you guys know, I always defended Grant and I always liked Grant. But it just seems like when he's on, but he seems to be off a lot. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll be on the team. This one comes from Caden. He says, obviously Tua will need more weapons next year, but do you think that's getting players like Albert Wilson and Preston Williams back will be enough to let us take a player like Swelly? You guys have said I say his name wrong, and you now see why I wasn't saying his name at 3. Or do the Finns need to go all in with Devontae Smith? This is a very good question, and I'll probably answer it once we get closer to the draft because I need to see more of him because Swelly, however the hell you say his name, he hasn't played football last year. He opted out. We don't know what he's been doing. We don't know what shape he's in. We don't know. But I'd like to build the trenches. Albert Wilson, we'll see if he's in what he's been doing, if he's in shape. Preston Williams, for the love of God, needs to stay healthy. Super dynamic, super dangerous, but he needs to stay healthy. Him and Devontae Parker, when they're on the field together, are dangerous, but they're not healthy. Got to stay healthy. And this last one comes from the KO podcast, and he says, if you are the GM, Doug, what would you do as of the wide receiver? Would you draft one, or would you go and maybe trade for one like maybe Julio Jones, OBJ, or any receiver? Love the video, dudes. Keep it up. We can collab someday. Talk Fins football. Well, thank you so much, KO. Yeah, I'm always down to collab with anybody. When it comes to the wide receivers, I don't see the Dolphins making any moves for any older wide receivers. Like Julio Jones is ridiculously dynamic, but he's kind of up there in age and kind of. The Dolphins had a plan going into this season. They had a plan for their offseason. They stuck with it. They got 5 more wins. I don't see them regressing from that plan. That's why I also don't see them trading for Watson, because all of a sudden it'd take their plan to flip it on their head. They got 5 wins by sticking to the plan. Why would you go back on it? I think they draft a wide receiver. I think you'll see I think you'll probably see 3 wide receivers get taken by the Dolphins in this draft. I also think they'll sign one. Who will that be? You're going to have to watch the free agent target video. I got so many videos planned for you guys, but that is the comments. Let's start opening some of these packages. So let's start with this top one. It's from Splat Up. It's in Florida. Splat Up. Splat Up. Oh, look at this. It's a Dolphins lay. Is there a card or anything? No, but that's awesome. I'm going to have to put it on I got 2 of them, actually. I'm going to put them on the shelf behind me. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Splat. This one is from Joey Nader. Let's see what Joey sent me. No way. I saw a card, but there's also a letter that I want to read with more cards. Oh, these are autographed. The kicker, Pete Stone. Well, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Tony Nathan, running back out of Alabama, autographed. Kim Bocamper, autographed. Are you kidding me? Tony Martin, Jim Jensen, Reggie Roby, great punter of the Dolphins, Pharrell Edwards, Jeff Cross, Keith Sims. Hope you guys can see this while I'm holding them up. EJ Jr., Alfred Oglesby, and Lewis Oliver. But he gave me 3 autographed cards. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. What does it say? Whoa, Jesus. Joey, not to make fun of you or anything, but such tiny, look how tiny the handwriting is. Good thing I'm young. Hey, Doug, just wanted to send you a letter thanking you for all you do and to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. I've had these packages for a while. I apologize. And Happy New Year. I know it's difficult these times, could be, especially with the newest addition to the family. So I wanted to send you a quick message from myself and the rest of the Dolphins subscribers. We love and appreciate all you do and your passion for YouTube. I hope you enjoy these cards that I had in my collection and will know be yours. Go Fins. He wrote DDW on the side. There you go, Fins up. Thank you, Joey. I greatly appreciate it. I can't believe you gave me autograph cards, though. That absolutely blew me away. Your handwriting. And again, I'm not meaning to bust your balls, but you got tiny handwriting. But you have nice handwriting. I can actually read what you wrote. Both. It's tiny. Let me open this one. I purposely knew I was going to be opening things with tape, so I kept scissors by me. That is awesome. Courtney's Creations. That is awesome. The ornament. I should have opened these sooner. I didn't go to my P.O. box. Thank you so much. Look at this ornament. Freaking awesome. This one is from Alan Bloom. Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Limited edition. That is so cool. Thank you so much, Alan. I greatly appreciate that, brother. And then the last one that I'm going to open, it's the last package I have, is this humongous box. I don't know what's in it. It's from Anthony Rodriguez. It's huge.
That's what she said.
That'd be funny if it was Anthony. Well, if it was, I'd hope you gave yourself some snacks and water, because this thing's been sitting there for probably about a month now at my P.O. box. Let me read the card first. Hey, DW, had this in my house for when I was a season ticket holder the final year before the stadium was renovated. They gave season ticket holders the previous chairs. Colors were changed from orange to aqua. While receiving the chair, I was attending training camp and was able to get players to sign it. I don't remember all of them, but here are some that I remember. Rashad Jones, Brett Grimes, John Denny, The long snapper, Joe Philman, signed it. Holy crap. Holy crap. You have 4 names on here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. There's 2 more. Dude, I can't believe you gave this to me. Rashad Jones, Joe Philman, unfortunately. Brent Grimes, John Denny. I think this is Zach Bowman, number 30. I don't know who 37 is. I'm going to have to look that up. Dude, I have to put this somewhere so everyone can see that I have a chair from the original stadium. Jesus Christmas, bud. Anthony, thank you so very much for that. And the autographs. You guys killed it with these packages. You have no idea. Thank you so very, very, very much. Again, I got nothing to say after this. I just can't believe it. I have to put it somewhere that you guys will see it. Holy crap, holy. But yeah, thank you. I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I hope you guys enjoy the Q&A videos. If you do like them, I'll do more of them. Comment below, let me know. But yeah, I got a ton of videos planned. Like I said, next week is going to be, I'm going to try to get that Tua video out. I think next video, I'm probably going to do the biggest surprises, biggest letdowns. I don't know if I might do it in one video, biggest surprise and letdown of this 2020 season in one video. But again, thank you guys so much for helping me hit 20,000 subscribers. I think we just broke 20,200 subscribers. You guys are absolutely killing it. I appreciate you guys subscribing, sharing it, watching, especially to this point. I don't know how many of you guys watch it to the end, but when you do, it makes the world of a difference to me because I say a lot of things at the end that I want you guys to hear. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. I think it's going to be the biggest surprises and letdowns of the 2020 season. That'll probably be out either Friday or Saturday. Also, I'm going to do my prediction for the Super Bowl in that video. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.